A crucial moment is upon us as the International Court of Justice, ICJ, prepares to deliver its advisory opinion on a highly contentious issue: Israel's legal obligations towards the United Nations and its agencies, particularly in the occupied territories of the West Bank and Gaza Strip. This case is a game changer, and it's about much more than just legal technicalities. The UN's top court is set to clarify Israel's responsibilities, which have come under scrutiny after its parliament passed laws banning the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, UNRWA, from operating on Israeli territory and interacting with Israeli officials. Israel's accusations of Hamas infiltration within UNRWA have been vehemently denied by the agency, which maintains its impartiality. But here's where it gets controversial. Israel has tightened its blockade on Gaza since the start of its war with Hamas 2 years ago, restricting and sometimes completely halting the entry of essential supplies for the 2.1 million residents. UN experts have warned of catastrophic food insecurity and an entirely man-made famine in Gaza City. But Israel disputes these findings, insisting it allows sufficient food into the territory. The ICJ's panel of judges will address 2 key questions. Does Israel's ban on UNRWA breach UN conventions guaranteeing the independence of UN agencies? And do Israel's restrictions on aid crossings into Gaza violate international humanitarian law, including its duties as an occupying power to protect civilians? While the opinion is non-binding, it carries immense moral and diplomatic significance. At the Hague hearings in April, the UN's Undersecretary-General for Legal Affairs, Eleanor Hammarskjöld, emphasized Israel's obligations as the occupying power to allow and facilitate all relevant UN entities to carry out their activities for the benefit of the local population. These activities encompass relief schemes, childcare and education, and maintaining medical services. Blin Migrali, legal counsel for the Palestinian government, described Israel's actions as unprecedented violations of Palestinian rights, attacks on the UN and its officials, and an attempt to destroy a UN subsidiary organ. Israel, however, views this ICJ procedure as a political circus and an abuse of international law and institutions. In its written statement, Israel argued that the court's involvement undermines its rights to self-defense and counterterrorism under international law. It maintains that no state should be expected to facilitate risks to its citizens and territory, and that international law prescribes a state's right and obligation to defend its existence, territory, and people. UNRWA, the largest humanitarian organization in Gaza, with 12,000 Palestinian staff, has challenged Israel's allegations of Hamas infiltration and cooperation with the armed group. Last year, the UN fired 9 UNRWA staff members in Gaza after investigators found evidence of their involvement in the Hamas-led attack on southern Israel on October 7, 2023, which resulted in the deaths of about 1,200 people and the hostage-taking of 251 others. Another 10 UNRWA staff were cleared due to insufficient evidence. Israel has also alleged that hundreds of UNRWA staff are members of proscribed terrorist groups. But an independent UN review found no evidence to support this claim. Since the Israeli laws came into effect in January, UNRWA's Palestinian staff have continued providing assistance, education, health, and other services to Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank, including East Jerusalem. However, UNRWA says Israel has banned it from bringing aid into Gaza and stopped issuing visas to its international staff. UNRWA reports that at least 309 of its staff and 72 people supporting the agency's activities have been killed since the start of the war in Gaza. The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza claims that Israeli attacks during the conflict have killed at least 68,229 people in total. This is the first formal legal inquiry into whether a UN member state can lawfully exclude a UN agency from its territory. It's a test of the international system's ability to enforce its rules when a major UN member state challenges the legitimacy of UN institutions operating under its authority. So, what do you think? Is this a fair assessment of Israel's obligations, or is there more to the story? The ICJ's opinion will provide some clarity, but the debate is sure to continue. Share your thoughts in the comments.